All right, folks, so in this video, we are going to be covering keeping your iPad charged and power problems that you may be experiencing and how to fix those with the proper equipment. So if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe to our channel, join our community forum, join our newsletter for the latest and greatest updates that we're putting out. And if there is a video you would like to see me build on, whether it be hardware, training, tutorials, go ahead and put that out in the comments below. So again, the number one issue that we see folks having or folks reporting is they can't keep their iPad charging. They got it plugged into their vehicle, but they're watching the power drop. The number one cause of this is that you're not running the proper cable or there's noise in the line of that power supply. So a lot of times people are running the power into other electrical equipment before it gets to the battery, and that equipment may be spiking the actual iPad. And what the iPad does is it sees that spike and it goes into a safe mode. So when you hook a meter up to that, a lot of times when you are having that issue, we can tell that it's knocking the iPad, or the iPad's knocking itself down to a 1 amp input, basically to protect the electronics and the lithium battery in the iPad from noisy power coming into it, or bad power coming into it, or spikes in the power, so you don't blow up the lithium battery in the iPad. So how do you avoid this? You run the proper cable, which we run a stock Apple cable. We've tried aftermarket cables. Plenty of them advertise that they got the chip in there straight from Apple. We have had aftermarket cables, more than anything, crap the bed on us, stop working, or just have trouble charging the iPad. So we decided a long time ago that we're gonna stick to stock Apple cables, the one that comes with the actual iPad or iPhone. We then take that cable and we just ruggedize it. We beef it up with military braiding and adhesive heat shrink to protect the cable in the field. That's what we do. From there, you wanna make sure that you have a USB that's putting out the needed amperage that the iPad needs to maintain a charge. A long time ago, when the iPad switched over to a Retina display, these displays took a lot more juice to keep them charging. Your standard USB cables before that time were a 2.1. Now we're looking, we need at least a 2.3, 2.4 to keep the iPad actually charging. So make sure that the USB cigarette adapter or the USB line that you're using is a 2.4 or higher. The one that we use right here, this MotoPower Sport, it's actually a 3.1 high output USB. It is the number one USB that we have found to keep everything running. And we connect this straight to the battery of the vehicle. Folks that get these and are still having issues, it's most likely because you're running this into a fuse box or something before the battery. And in a lot of the vehicles we've been in or we tested, especially the off-road vehicles or the custom builds, a lot of these builds have noisy or sloppy electrical systems in them. The same vehicles that have issues are the same vehicles that when you say you turn on the light bar, that you hear humming in your headset. Stuff like that is what's going to translate through this line, through the stock cable, through the chips that are actually in this cable, and through, more importantly, the chips that are in the iPad or the iPhone. It's gonna see that noise in the line and it's going to go into a safe mode. And at that point, it'll say it's still charging. You'll still get a green lightning bolt at the top, but you'll watch your power dropping. The only way to reset that is by unplugging the USB and plugging it back in. So a lot of times with our custom builds, our higher end builds, we'll recommend folks put a toggle switch in line of the line going into the battery. If the iPad goes into a safe mode, if you recognize that it's not charging or something spiked, you can just flip the switch to recharge that built-in trickle of the iPad and hopefully get it back into the green and start charging again. That's a better option versus having to reach down while you're in an off-road environment, unplug the USB and stick it back in. Going back, we use a stock Apple cable that has been ruggedized, and you can actually get these this ruggedizing kit on our website or on our online store, or you can get this actual full cable assembled by us from that same store. whatever you want. If you're in the arts and crafts and you want to build this cable yourself or use your own cable, just get the Ruggedized kit of braiding and heat shrink and get that ordered up on our store, and you can do it yourself, or you can just order the complete cable in a 1/2 meter or 1 meter, depending on what length you want. This is a 1 meter, the standard. From there, you want to run the 3.1 high output. You can get these on our online store as well, and you want to run this directly to your battery. Again, you run this into a fuse box that's running through different electrical before it hits your battery, you might have issues. This is what we found, especially on like the UTVs. The UTVs will not charge unless you put this directly to the battery. If you are going to be running a cigarette adapter USB like this one here, again, you want to make sure that this is a high output 2.4, and this one happens to be dual port, and on here it actually says it's 2.4 per port. You want to make sure of that too, because some of these are only like 1 amp for one USB and 2.1 for the other. So you want to ensure that they're actually putting out 2.4 amps at least per USB plug. This is a Scosh. We've used this one a lot. One of the issues with these though in an off-road environment, and another issue that folks have while trying to charge with these, is that these are going into a cigarette adapter, and this little nipple on the end of the cigarette adapter, once it starts getting worn out, starts bouncing around in the port, and that bouncing and that breaking of connection is what will cause the iPad to go into a trickle mode and not charge. So this is great for like support vehicles or your daily driver. You just want to make sure that it is a 2.4 or higher. Ruggedized power cables, again, you can get them built up by us, or you can get the Ruggedized kit. In the Ruggedized kit, you'll see that you have your braiding to slide over the cable. If you have a 1/2 meter cable that you want to rig up, you can just cut that in half. And you have a couple sections or pieces of heat shrink. You'll see that 2 of those pieces are for the USB side of the cable, and there's 3 other pieces to use on the actual iPad side or the iPhone side of the cable on the lightning port. You want to start off with the long piece, obviously, and you want to make sure you heat this up so it actually, the adhesive melts into the braiding. Otherwise you'll get this thing to slide apart on you. But the adhesive does a really good job of keeping everything together while beating the crap out of this cable in the field. The other 2 pieces of the heat shrink, as you can see on this cable, I only have 1 piece on here. If you're running a case like the LifeProof case and you have a fairly large port going into the iPad, you can use those other pieces of heat shrink to actually beef that end of the cable up, and you can smash it down a little bit and form it to the opening of this LifeProof case. That will create a fairly decent dust-proof and water-resistant seal in that port. One of the other things we've done in big events like the Baja 1000, to where we want to make sure if there's a lot of rain or dust or anything else that you want to put an extra measure in there to protect that connector port, we've actually used, this is a fairly used bottle of it, so you can't really read it, but this was liquid tape. We get this from Home Depot. It's just like a latex tape that we, before the race or before the event, we'll plug in the iPad and put a little put a little coating of that around the connector, and it keeps everything tight. At the end of the event, all you gotta do is peel that apart. It's just, again, like a latex rubber once it dries. The bad thing about this stuff, I know 90% of our customers are from Southern California. Right here on the bottle, it is not allowed to be sold in California. Sorry. All right, so that's it. If you run a stock Apple cable into one of these directly into your battery, you will not have any issues keeping your iPad charging, period. If you try to rig this into something else, or if you're running an aftermarket cable, or your electrical is a mess in your vehicle, you're probably gonna be the guy or gal having trouble keeping that thing charging. But that's it. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe If there's other videos that you want to see me put out, just comment in the comments below, and we appreciate it. And join our community forum and our newsletter for the latest updates or other questions and answers. And make sure you go to our training page on our website. I'm going to be updating that, and you can come back to this YouTube channel at any time, and we're going to be breaking up things into hardware, into training lesson software, and all that good stuff. I'm going to start building up each of those playlists.